Oh, and here comes Gala. She was coming a little late, so this is perfect timing. Okay, so we're gonna just begin here on the floor. And so, oh, and am I? Yes, I am. Okay, so on my way, and this is not, let's go ahead and take your hands here to your shin bones for just a moment. And while you do this, go ahead and lengthen out your low back. Good. So try that just a few times. You can just feel the pelvis tip back a little, and then feel yourself get long right over your two sitting bones. Let's try that a time or two more. So you can push your hands kind of into your shins, offer a little assist, and let the lumbar tailbone vertebra sink back. You're tipping. And then you're gonna exhale and sit up. As you sit up, feel your abdominal wall pull in all the way together. Good, so now you're gonna extend. We're gonna stretch both arms out. And then let's just slowly begin to lower down to the floor. If you feel yourself uncomfortable in any way, use your hands. Ponemos las manos aquí en los muslos. Good, so we're gonna come all the way to the floor for just a moment. And then I want you to help, we're gonna all go together and see if we can find a neutral pelvis on the floor. So begin with your knees bent, your kneecaps facing the sky, and you can put, you're in the privacy of your own home, you can put one hand on your pubic bone, one hand on your navel, and I want you to feel the relationship where your pubic bone is not tipped up towards the ceiling, but it's actually lengthening out. As you feel that action start to happen, then begin to knit your rib cages in. So you're gonna pull in at your ribs here. Good, and feel that your lumbar pelvic area is pretty stable. Good, and then let's go ahead and place two hands on the sides of your ribs, and I want you to inhale fully, widening the rib cage, and then exhale completely, knitting the navel in. Let's try that a couple times. So you'll inhale, opening the ribs, and then exhale, pull the front of the rib cage deep. Inhale, let the ribs move wide, and then exhale, let's pull in. Let's do that one more time together. Inhale, filling your rib cage, move wide, and then exhale, pulling in. Good. You can even leave your hands on your abdomen for a moment as you raise now your right knee over your right hip. And we're just gonna tap down and up, letting the toes float to the floor. And then we'll come right back, letting that foot float down. Let the left leg float down and up. Good, just a few times. And you want to feel this whole time that you're moving, the torso stays steady and stable as the leg comes down and up. Beautiful. Let's set the left leg down, and now I want you to lift the right once again. Subimos la pierna derecha. And then you're going to open, abrimos y cerramos. You're going to open and close la pierna derecha. So you'll open and close your right leg. Feeling the external rotators in the hip, feeling the work of the inner thigh. Good. And again, keeping your pelvis nice and stable. Let's go ahead, pause. Let the right leg come down and lift the left. Subimos la pierna izquierda y otra vez abrimos y cerramos. Just these slow movements to wake up. Good. A sensation of moving from a stable core. Good. While the leg opens and closes. Beautiful. So now let's pause. And you're going to exhale, lift 2 feet off of the floor. Let the right toes tap down, and then let the left toes tap down. So you're going to alternate, and right there between your navel and your pubic bone, you want to feel like a zipper. So this whole long abdominal wall from the ribs to the hips is firing, and the navel's pulling slightly down. So this is just to support the flexion and extension of your hips. So our belly should always be in this long shape, right? While we're walking, while we're running, while we're, upright. Good. Let's place both feet down on the floor now. Sweep the arms into the sides and then curl, peel, lift. Empujamos los pies en el piso. Push your feet into the floor. And then feel your tailbone rise up. So as the tailbone rises up, you want to feel the front of the ribs knitting, pulling in. So again, that abdominal wall is helping you maintain a nice healthy curve here in your lumbar spine, and you're using your glutes and hamstrings. I'm just pushing lightly up. Good. To support that lift. All right, so let's pause and then slowly articulate those vertebrae, bring them all the way back down. Once again, aiming for a nice neutral spine. Lift your two knees over your chest, extend the right leg. Good, and now you're gonna bicycle your two legs. So reaching one leg out. Bueno, montate en bici. Good, and again, see if you can feel a long belly. Even touch your navel so you get a sense of what those muscles are doing. While you're reaching out through the legs, let's go ahead and change the position of the two legs. Good, let's pause. And now place your right foot on the floor, leave the left leg in the air. And then vamos a hacer círculos. You're gonna make circles con la pierna izquierda. Good, you can really push down through your right foot. Good, and that's going to help you anchor y hacer más estable la pelvis. It's going to help you stabilize your pelvis. Beautiful. Cambiamos la dirección del círculo. You'll change the direction of the circle. Eso, eso, eso. Muy bien. Paramos. So let's pause here. Flex, send your heel to the sky. Una respiración, take a breath, and then cambiamos la posición de las piernas. You'll change the position of the legs. Good. So now con la pierna derecha arriba, go ahead, hacemos círculos otra vez. So another important thing to remember is that your joints don't have any direct blood supply. So really it is just the movement of the joint that keeps the fluid at a healthy level, keeps the joint lubricated per se. So estos círculos con la pierna, the cosa más importante, the thing that's more important than having a big circle is to have a stable pelvis. And then you can really feel the muscles firing up to help you create that stability. And then you're really also getting the synovial fluid moving in the joint. So let's make sure, vamos a ir en dos direcciones. And then let's pause with the right leg up, tuck your arms to your sides, extend your left leg out. Cambiamos la posición de las piernas. You just want to lightly change. Doesn't matter the range of motion here. This could be really small. Up top, you just want to feel that cross patterning. Good, and you could gradually grow the lengthening of the legs, letting them lower un poquito más. Si quieres, if you want. Si no, no pasa nada. Good, let's bend both knees for just a moment. With two knees bent, hacemos círculos otra vez. You'll just make a couple circles with the femur bones, and then hacemos círculos otra dirección, so now the legs are moving in. Good, and then from here, una pausa, you'll pause, and empujamos los piecitos en el piso. You'll push your feet into the floor, lift the pelvis up again, tap your right heel, el talón derecho, arriba y abajo, arriba y abajo. So you're coming down and up with your right heel. These are your, I always call these your hiking drills. So if you like to go out and do senderizo, do nature time on the rocks, it's good to really keep connected to your ankles, building strength here through the calves, backs of the legs. So I'm doing now right and then left and then right and then left. Derecha, izquierda, derecha, izquierda, derecha, izquierda, derecha. Good, so now let's take two heels up and then lightly lift the pelvis down and up. Try to keep the pubic bone oriented so such that it's higher than the two hip bones. And that's going to be the ideal position for your back in this postura. Let's pause now, heels down, the ball of your right foot, la planta del pie derecha, y también la izquierda. Good, and now you can do right and then left. Good, and then you can hold the balls of the feet lifted, and then otra vez subimos la pelvis. You'll lift the pelvis again, really feel the pubic bone más alta, higher than the two hip points. Good, and then let's exhale, slowly release all of that draw. your knees over your chest. So with your knees over your chest, algunas veces vamos a hacer círculos. You'll make a few circles with your arms. It might be helpful to circle one arm one direction and then the other, and then take that same pattern with the opposite arm, el brazo opuesto, because, you know, our arms are not the same thing. So each side has its own stuff going on. So now I want you to feel your elbows, los codos, empujan en el piso. Your elbows push down into the floor, and then they're gonna stretch up and towards one another. Okay, so you're just kind of waking up your chest. Good, and then from here, I want you to try bringing your palms together and then opening your arms almost in a little cactus shape towards the sky. So palms, palmas juntas, and then your brazos abiertos al cielo. So try that a couple of times. Good, just waking up your chest muscles. Let's pause with your arms out here and then exhale, reach down and up, almost like a little air push-up. Let's try that. It's kind of pumping some blood, some lymphatic fluid through your chest area. Excellent. So now a pause. Bring your hands behind the head. Open the elbows out. Abrimos un poco los codos. And then from there, let's pull your abdominals, los abdominales adentro. And then from here, just scoop and lift your omoplatos, your shoulder blades, up from the floor. So vamos a hacer 5. Vamos a hacer 4. Good. 3, 2, y 1. Muy bien. So now from here, lowering your head right back down to the floor. Let's extend. Estiramos las dos piernas arriba. Good. And then again, send the heels back. So you're going to exhale, let the legs come down. 2 y 3. And then subimos otra vez. So bajamos, lower the legs down. 2, 3, y subimos. Good, so you're gonna go down, 2, 3, y subimos otra vez. Good, down, 2, 3, y arriba otra vez. Good, let's take that one more time. So again, you wanna really check in with your lumbar spine, right? So as you're taking that action, you're feeling the lumbar stay nice and neutral. You don't wanna tip up, because again, that puts a lot of pressure on the L5, S1. So inhale, take a breath here, holding the legs up. Now lift your head and chest and squeeze, pull the abdomen in. As you lift, vamos a hacer 5, 4, y 3, y 2, y 1. Good, lower the right leg slightly. Same thing, a little pulse. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Change the position of the 2 legs. Same thing, belly pulls in and you lift. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Bending both knees, empujando los pies en el piso. So push your feet to the floor. Exhale, pull your elbows to the sides. Feel your palms arrive at the outside of the hips. Check that the hips feel compacted, strong through the glutes. Y también los femorales, glúteos y femorales. So these are your glutes and your hamstrings. And we'll stretch. Empujando los pies en el piso. Good. And then lifting your pelvis all the way up. Good. So really make sure as you come up, the pubic bone moves higher than the 2 hip points. And we're going to hold this position with the pelvis upright. And now raise your right knee over your right hip. Tap that foot down and up. So remember, you want to maintain this steady pelvis as the leg lifts, sube y bajo. Good. And now the left leg. Vamos a hacerlo. 5 y 4. Really feel that right side supporting, apoyándote. 2 y 1. Muy bien. Desde aquí subimos otra vez. You're going to lift the pelvis, lower those bones back down. Con los dedos entrelazados detrás de la cabeza. Good. Placing your interlaced fingers back behind the head. Exhale. Now lift your shins. Extend the shins of the two legs. Now lower your head and chest right back down. Lowering the legs. So you're going to exhale. Subimos. Y ahora bajamos. Good. Let's subimos. And then bajamos. Let's do that one more time. Subimos. Good. Now pause with your knees bent. Lower your right toes. And now lower the left. So bajando el muslo. Y también a la derecha, a la izquierda. Good. And then from here, let's pause. And you'll exhale, pull in at the belly, a little pulse. And then you're going to rotate to the right. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Rotamos a la izquierda, so you'll take that to the left. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Muy bien. Now you're going to rotate to the right. Let the left toes slower. Bueno, so sube y bajo. And we'll go 5 y 4 y 3 y 2 y 1. Muy bien. From here, exhale. Let's lower your head and chest. Let your two legs come up. Oh, who did we lose? Oh no, we lost Linda. Maybe she'll try again. So from here, let's go ahead with your two legs up. Let's circle the legs out, down, around, in and up. Good. So again, think about a stable pelvis. Oh. Good. Vamos a hacerlo otra dirección. So take that again. And really, the more you anchor your tailbone and draw in on your abdominal muscles, the more you'll feel low back is stable, bones of the pelvis are stable, and then your legs move a little bit better. So let's exhale, pause. And now from here, lift your head and chest. Let the right leg come down. Now let the left leg come down. So we'll just take a 5 and a 4 and a 3. And try to peel the shoulder blades up. 2 and 1. Let's pause with your two legs up. Lower the head and chest. And then your dedos go adentro y afuera. Good. So you'll just take the toes and heels in and out. Now let's pause with your heels in. And then take the right heel y vamos a, batir. You're going to just beat the left. So try to hold the left heel stable as you beat the right heel into it. Let's change. So you're doing la pierna izquierda en el talón derecha. Good. So now pause. Take a little breath. Let the thighs come down for a moment. Bring your hands here to your feet and rock a little bit your low back. You can take your head and neck kind of in opposition. Good. And then so from here, let's go ahead, exhale. Bring your two heels all the way together once again, and you'll beat the two heels together. Good. Reach the two legs out, beat the two heels together. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower just a hair more, abdomen strong, connected. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Two legs up, and now we'll make just a few circles. So the legs are going to travel to the left, around, and up. And now to the right, around, and up. A la izquierda. Muy bien. Y a la derecha. Good. So now from here, let's pause. Bend your knees, arms into your sides, and exhale. I want you to feel your abdominals pull deep, and then they're going to flex that lumbar spine all the way up. So try lowering your lumbar with control, taking your tailbone up, and then letting the lumbar come down slowly. Try that again. Arriba y abajo. Good. Last time. And then from here, let's try that same action. 2 legs up and down. Good. So really feeling all the abdominal wall, the belly muscles connected. Good. Let's try that one more time. And then from there, if you like, go ahead, bring the thighs over your face and you can practice a little bit of halasana. So this is a deep stretch of your hamstrings, of your low back. Really reach weight out into your arms. So all of your weight isn't compressing in your neck. Your neck should feel relaxed. And then from here, let's slowly bring that back and down to the floor. Good. Take a moment to squeeze your hands, take them into your mat, push your elbows down, and exhale, let the neck hang back. So if it feels comfortable to let your head rest on the floor, you can do that. And feel this whole front of the throat, estirando, abriendo. You can take your bottom lip, el labio bajo, sobre el labio superior. Good. From here, let's exhale, release that, coming down. And then bring your hands behind the thighs. And we'll exhale, rock up into a seated position. Nos sentamos. Arriba, arriba. Good. And feel your shoulder blades pull in. Allow your neck to release. Arriba y bajo. Lado y lado. Good. So pull las abdominales adentro. Y bajamos. Y subimos. And then you lift up. So try that 2-3 veces. Abajo. Good. Estirando la columna. And then exhale, subiendo. Good. Now try to really extend your spine here. Good. Try this one more time. Exhaling, coming all the way up. Muy bien. So let's sit tall for a moment. Y podemos coger las pesas. So you can pick up your weights. So take just a second. And try to realign your back once again. So you feel shoulder blades moving together. Abdominal wall fuerte, conectada. Good. Y nos sentamos arriba. And from here with just una pesa. So you're going to pull the weight up towards your shoulder and exhale, come back down. So with your left, same thing, la misma cosa. Vamos a subir y bajar, subir y bajar. Good. All right, now let's take 2 weights up, right to your shoulders and exhale down. Subimos y bajamos, subimos y bajamos. Good. So now a pause with your 2 weights up. Empujamos una pesa arriba y otra pesa arriba. So you'll push one weight up. Good. And really feel the movement of your shoulder. Empujando, subiendo y bajando. Good. All the way. Excellent. And now let's push 2 pesas arriba. 5, 4, 3, 2 y 1. Muy bien. Y empujamos una pesa afuera. Good. So you're going to push out with the weight. Good. Alternating. And then if you're feeling it, we're going to go 2 weights. Out and in. 5 and 4 and 3 and 2 and 1. Very nice. Exhale, push out to the side. Same thing. So now we've basically worked the deltoid muscles pretty much every way they go. So you're pushing out and pushing out. Empujando afuera, afuera. Good. Y 5 veces dos brazos. 2 and 1. Good. Exhale, release for just a moment. And now circling your neck, checking in, lado y lado, arriba y abajo. Hold your weights in your hands, and we're going to exhale y bajamos. We're going to lower all the way to the floor, so check your navel, feel it move in, support that movement of your vertebra. Good. And then from here on the floor, hold your 2 weights sobre el pecho, and then you're going to open like push-ups. So elbows adentro y arriba, bueno, afuera y arriba. Good. Pushing, pushing, pushing all the way up. Good. We'll take 3. Exhale, push dos y uno. Good. So now you're going to open or take your palmas juntas. You're going to take your palms together and then abrimos. And now from here with your, you can lift the weights and also lift your pelvis if that feels comfortable. So abrimos mientras bajando la pelvis y subimos mientras, bueno, subiendo también la pelvis. Good, let's take 5 y 4 y 3 y 2 y 1. So now you can hold the pelvis lifted, and now your forearms are going to reach back towards the head y arriba. So here we go. Take 5. Exhale, lift 4. Exhale, lift 3. Exhale, lift 2. And exhale, lift 1. Very nice. Let's go ahead and lower all the way, lower your pelvis back down. Hold your weights up. And now your right ankle you can take to your left thigh. Good. And then from here, your elbows pull in. You're going to lift and lower. Elbows adentro. And then arriba, adentro, y arriba, adentro, y arriba, adentro. Good. So now hold your pelvis lifted for just a moment, and with your arms up in the air, circulamos los brazos. You'll circle the arms 3, y 2, y 1, y cambiamos la dirección. You'll change the direction 3, and 2, and 1. Good. Inhale, una pausa. Pause here. Exhale, bajamos. And now from your whole forearm, from the humerus bone, take the arms down and up. Good. And then we're going to take the shin bone and your 2 legs together. So you're going to go out and in. Afuera, adentro. Afuera, adentro, afuera, adentro. Última vez, afuera, adentro. Good. Una pausa. Change the position of the 2 legs. Still got your 2 weights up. Y subimos, subo y bajo. You're going to lift and down and up. So here we go. 3 y 2 y 1. Good. So now hold and then circulamos. You'll circle your weights once again. 3 and 2 and 1. Very nice. Una pausa. You'll pause here for a moment. Circle the other way. 3 and 2 and 1. Very nice. Una pausa. Pause. Lower your pelvis right back down. And now try just a couple extensions with your forearms moving back. Bueno, con los húmeros, your humerus bones moving back. And then as you feel like it's time, extend that bottom shin as well. Feel that in the abdominals, through the hip flexors, into the quadricep. 3 and 2 and 1. Very nice. Una pausa. Pausing here. Let your 2 legs extend. Take your 2 arms up. And then let's lift the pelvis. Lift your torso arriba. Good. So now we're going to otro roll up. But you're going to do this with your palms facing up. Los dos brazos largos. Good. take una pausa, or a little pause here. And then subimos otra vez. We're gonna lift up once again. Good. Last time, you can take your arms slightly wide. You could take your heels together, toes apart. Y bajamos. While you're on the floor, you could take a few circles of the weights. 5, 4, 3, 2, and other way. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, lift the head, chest, shoulder blades, rib cage, all the way up. Good. Setting the weights down, I'm going to turn to face the computer and begin now with the soles of my feet. Las plantas del pie juntos. Good. And so from here, point and flex. So talones juntos and then your plantas juntos. You're going to just kind of rock your weight, or not really the weight, but pressure the balls of the feet into the heels. Good. And then let's pause. So keep a little pressure there. And then exhale, sit up tall over your isquiones. Sweep your 2 arms behind you for a moment. And then empujamos los talones juntos. And then you're going to let the knees, abrimos, open your knees. Good. And get a big, big stretch here. So from here, I'm going to leave my hands underneath me, tip my weight back slightly, lift my right leg, extend, and reach. 5. So I'm moving out on the diagonal. 4, hips, pelvis steady. 3, and 2, and 1. Good. Now set that leg down. Los dos brazos arriba. You'll come up. Y estiramos lado y lado. You're stretched side to side. Good. Reaching por las costillas. You're reaching through the ribs. Good. And then from here, you can create a little bit more reach through the arms also. You can turn one palm up, one palm down. Mientras estirando. Good. And then let's hold. Let's take that bottom arm down, top arm stretches up. Good. Follow that top arm back, stretch away from your extended leg, opening up your hip. Good. And now we're going to reach that arm back down y estiramos sobre la pierna estrechada. Estirada, que digo yo. Good. And then arriba, arriba. Good. So now see if you can lift the leg y vamos a llevarlo adentro otra vez. Good. Una pausa. So go back to a little Baddha Konasana. Empujando las plantas, pushing the balls of the feet, empujando los talones. Good. And then nos sentamos arriba. You're going to sit up on your isquillones. And then from here again, do a little check. How's your neck? ¿Cómo está el cuello? La garganta. Good. So now, una pausa. You're going to tip your weight back slightly. Lift la pierna izquierda. And then we'll stretch por la rodilla. So you're going to lift, lower. Good. Try one more. Exhale. Exhale. Slowly lower that leg out. From here. Estiramos los brazos, stretch the arms. Tu lado, lado. Good. And exhale, you can let that one arm lead you up. Get a little bit deeper. Try to keep your isquillones en el piso. Try to keep your sitting bones on the floor. Super, super bien. Good. So una pausa. You're going to stretch away from your extended leg. Good. Let your top arm come up. Good. Now we're going to Take a big breath, stretch to the inside of that leg, top arm sobre la cabeza. Good. Estiramos arriba otra vez, and now giramos en la dirección. Now you stretch towards that leg, por tu lado. Good. Nos sentamos arriba otra vez. Let's stretch your two legs out. Good. And then you can lift and lower cada rodilla. Good. Arriba, abajo, your knees down and up. And you can apoyar, sostener un poco la columna. You can support your spine by keeping your hands underneath your shoulders and lifting the chest. Good. All right, so pause here. Let's exhale, two arms out. And then once again, let's create a little side bend, lado y lado. Creating your long reach through the ribs. You're really encouraging these muscles right here. Your obliques are assisting you in these side bends. Good, so let's pause. And then you can take that bottom arm closer towards the floor. Top arm travels up. It may even touch your toes. And then la cabeza se puede alar debajo del brazo. So you can kind of pull the head under your brazo. Exhale, subimos otra vez. Janu Shirsasana. So we're going to take this postura otro lado. So begin by letting that bottom arm reach into the floor. Your top arm, really, there's no forcing. Your shoulder won't be interested in that. So this is just sort of seeing where your joints are. And then you can play peekaboo if you bring your head underneath the arm. Give this just a couple breaths. It's an intense stretch of your side. Very nice. Subimos. Muy bien. Otra vez. Good. So now, los dos brazos adelante. Dos brazos atrás. Move las manos detrás de la cabeza. So, estiramos aquí. Y otra vez, si podemos sostener el peso de la cabeza, you can support the weight of your head por las manos. Y estamos estirando las axilas. You're stretching your armpits. Good. Los dos brazos arriba. Take your two arms up. And then estiramos adelante. You can stretch un poco más adelante. So again, think about that lumbar function, right? Where can you extend the spine so that the muscles engage and no one bit of vertebra is taking all the weight. Good. Take one more big breath here. Y vamos a, poner los piecitos juntos. You put your feet together. I'm going to cross my ankles and now come up onto all fours. Good. So if you've had any discomfort, anything going on with your wrists, you can always put something under the heel of your hand. Like I've got my weights here now. And that's just going to help me not put too much pressure on my muñequitas, on my little wrists. So begin here with a cat-cow. And this is a great opportunity to feel. Good. So what happens to that L5-S1 when you're in extension? So it's really important as your weight is coming down, don't just drop that arch of your back, but instead really slowly come down into that arched position, right? And feel your belly muscles still pulling up to support it. Good. And then so from here, let's go ahead, let your weight move back a little. Then let the weight move forward. Good. Movemos atrás. Otra vez. Adelante. Good. Atrás. Adelante. All right. So from this atrás, take your dos brazos adelante y atrás. Your two arms forward and back. Adelante, atrás. And exhale, abrimos. So you're going to bring ourselves open and up. Good. Estiramos. So your coccyx se mueve abajo. You move it down. Good. And then again, you want to feel that neutral pelvis so that your pubic bone and hip bones are now on this plane in a vertical position. Good. You can move your hands to your low back for just a moment. Stretch up from there, lifting your chest. Subiendo el pecho. Good. Y ahora nos ponemos las manos entre los muslos. Put your hands between your thighs. Y abrimos. Muy bien. From here, let's look up and out. And now your pierna izquierda, or this might be your derecha, whichever. You're going to take it out. Good. And from here, a couple times you can move los muslos atrás. Move your thighs back. Good. Last time. And then from here, dos brazos arriba, just a couple of times. Good. Hold the two arms up and then subimos otra vez. Nos levantamos el torso. You lift the torso. And then exhale. Stretch towards this leg. Parigasana, gate pose. Good. Y abrimos. You're going to lift up. And then exhale. Let your fingertips come away from the leg. Good. You can let the fingertips rest there for a moment. Pon la mano detrás de la cabeza. Put a hand behind your head. And then lift the opposite leg. Lift the arm. La mano y el tobillo juntos. Good. And you'll stretch. Estiramos la cadera. Good. Let's bajar. You're going to lower the leg. Y subimos otra vez. Good. So now, la otra pierna. Pierna opuesta. Good. Let that leg come out. Good. And then if you like here, just a couple times, you can let the thighs move back. Los muslos mueven atrás. Good. And you should feel a little stretch in your inner thigh. A little stretch again through the low back. Good. So una pausa. You're going to just pause with your thighs back. Y subimos los brazos. So when your arms come up, don't drop the weight of the head. That'll put the weight of the body in the wrong spot, but keep the head lifted and you'll feel, whoa, your spinal extensors, your glutes have to do some work here. Good. Subimos, nos levantamos otra vez, Parigasana, gate pose. Estiramos en la dirección de la pierna estirada. Good. Nos levantamos otra vez. You'll lift back up. And then estiramos afuera. You're going to stretch away. Pon la mano detrás de la cabeza. Put your hand behind your head. And when you do that, really open your chest. And then subimos la pierna. Muy bien. Holding that leg up. Respiración 2 a 3. Good. Checking your neck. You can stretch the arm up now too. Good. And then from here, we'll just lift right back up. Las dos rodillas adentro. So now I'm going to turn. Voy a girar. This is mi lado izquierdo, my left side. Here. So exhale, put both hands on the floor. Once again, Your thighs are gonna move back. Now curl your 10 toes underneath you. Y subimos la pelvis. You're gonna lift your pelvis up. A big stretch. Estirando. Bueno, same thing. So with that lumbar curve here, you wanna think your tailbone rises up, and that is gonna help you elongate that whole spinal column. Good, so you can try a few times bending and straightening your elbows here. This feels good. Good, and then from here, let's go ahead and lift la pierna. Bueno, this is my left leg, pierna izquierda. Go ahead, take a big stretch. Vamos a bajar la pierna, lowering the leg. Y otra. Se estira arriba. Good, allow that leg to come down. And once again, bajamos las piernas. You're gonna lower your knees. Y desde aquí, movemos. You're gonna move the pelvis towards the floor. Hold the weight there in your hands just a moment. Exhale, reach that weight back. So, moviendo la pelvis al piso in the direction of the floor. Go feel those two hip points hovering, held by your abdominals. Y movemos abajo otra vez. Good. Down. Y arriba, abajo. So now, pause here. Just check your neck. Feel your free movement. Down and up. Good. So then exhale. Let's push your two elbows into the floor. Push the palmas, push your palms into the floor, lift the hips and pelvis. And now this time, the leg is going to stretch to the side. So, yo he subido la pierna izquierda. Exhale, bajamos. Hacemos otro lado. So to the opposite side, out the window, lift the leg. Exhale, bajamos la pierna. You're going to lower back down. Las dos rodillas en el piso. You're going to let your two hips move back here un ratito. And then from here, movemos al piso. So we're going to come up a couple times into a low forearm plank. Good. So with your dedos grandes y también, bueno, dedos gordos, empujando. In el piso, I want you to just lift your knees a few times, pump a little blood there, feeling your glutes engage. Good. So now hold your legs lifted for just a moment, feeling a little strength. Exhale, release. Now your knees come down, and then we're going to lift the pelvis. 5 veces. 5 y 4 y 3 y 2 y 1. Good. Hold that little lift, just a couple of breaths. Good. Now lift your two knees if you can. Just hold a nice long spine. 5 respiraciones. Good. Exhale, release. Let that come down. Abrimos los codos. So you'll lift the leg. Raise your left leg down and up. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Movemos afuera y adentro. You're going to move the leg out and in. 5 y 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Circulamos la pierna. You're going to circle the leg. 3, 2, 1. Circulamos otra dirección. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Bajamos la pierna y la pierna derecha arriba y abajo. You're going to lift and lower. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Abrimos, cerramos. Open, we open and close. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Circulamos. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Otra dirección. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Relaxing the two legs for a moment, bend one knee, and then straighten the opposite knee. So you're just gonna I want you to make this movement really light, but then begin to feel your glutes and hamstrings really connecting, particularly in the lowering of each leg. So there should be a firming up of the legs that happens here. Good, so now pause with your two knees bent. Can you lift one femur bone down and up? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Otra pierna. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good, so you're gonna go back to your left leg, out and in, afuera, adentro. So you're just opening and closing the femur bone out to the side and in. Good, try that on the other side, afuera y adentro. Good, so now your two heels pull together, lift the two thighs, 5. Lift the two thighs, 4. Lifting, 3. Subiendo, 2. Y 1, good. Stretch one leg out on the diagonal, out and in, 5. And 4, 3, and 2, and 1. Good, cambiando, otro lado, out and in, afuera, adentro, 5, and 4, and 3, and 2, and 1. Good. Exhale, two legs out and in, 5, out and in, 4, out and in, 3, out and in, 2, out and in, 1. Good. Pause. So from here, just rock the weight side to side, lado y lado y lado. Good. And then you can change the cross of each leg just a couple of times. Good, so let's pause. I'm gonna cross my right leg in front of my left, then reach my left hand around and just stretch for a moment. Good, changing the cross. I'm gonna let my opposite hand now stretch towards that knee. Good, towards that foot, el pie, y digo yo. Good, and then if you want, you can take two hands back behind you and hold for a moment. Your legs cross. This will feel like a stretch for your knees, stretch for your hips. You can kind of push your thigh bones down. You can now change the cross of the two legs, not expecting your two sides to be even. They'll feel different. Good, so let's exhale, unfold the legs. Take your one arm out, so your outside arm becomes a little rest for your head, and we're gonna lift your top leg. Take it down and up a few times. Good, so now from here, let that top knee pull in and then reach back on the diagonal. It pulls in, it reaches back. Pulls in, it reaches back, it pulls. Good, so now holding that leg forward, just extend the knee joint slightly. 5, and 4, and 3, and 2, and 1. Holding the leg out. Subimos, bajamos. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now you'll stretch it all the way back. Down and up. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Pause with that leg back behind you for a moment. You can kind of stretch your hip open. So I'm still going to keep my two hip bones vertical. I'm just going to let that hip open. And as I do, now my bottom leg can lift and lower. Good. Good. And then from there, you can let the leg move forward and back. Good. And now you can let that bottom leg circle. And circle the other way. Good, let's pause. And from here, take a little stretch. The top knee can travel forward. Top arm, el brazo encima. Se mueve atrás. Good, and then let's pull your bottom knee beneath your top knee. Y empujamos por los brazos, push through the arms. Cambiamos lados. Where are we? Oh my goodness, I keep doing this. Oh my gosh, I've taken us over. I'm so sorry. Can we finish the other side? Oh, lo siento. Guys, just don't have much of a brain these days. All right, vamos a hacerlo. So now just really quick. I know if it's just all feeling really good, I just keep going. Lo siento mucho. So now let's take this top leg just a few times. Arriba y abajo. Arriba y abajo. Good, and again, thinking about a steady pelvic lumbar region. Good, so now you're gonna let the knee travel forward and then kick back. So you'll rodilla adelante y atrás. Adelante y atrás. You really try to push through the heel. Adelante y atrás. Dando patadas. Good. And now we're gonna pause with the knee bent and then stretch and extend the leg. 5. So the shin bone comes out and in. 2, 1. Y estiramos arriba otra vez. Down and up. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Y atrás. 5, 4, 3, 2 y 1. Muy bien. So now from here, doblamos la rodilla. You bend the knee. Let that pelvis, let the hips stretch for a moment. Y subimos aquí la pierna abajo. Good. Adelante y atrás. So you're moving forward, moving back. También hacemos círculos. Y otra dirección. Good. Descansamos la pierna. You'll rest the leg, the top leg, travel down. El pecho abierto. You'll open the chest. Por el brazo encima. Good. So then from here, just estiramos afuera. You'll stretch out into a big X position. And give yourself a few breaths here. Para ver cómo está el cuerpo. Just check in. How is your body now? Bueno, and then just after a big exhale, let's bring your legs and arms all the way together. Meciendo el cuerpo lado y lado. So from here, you can roll to the side, rollamos al lado, and then nos sentamos arriba. Hacemos sit all the way up. Desde aquí, las palmas juntas. Bueno, tu práctica, un regalo. Muchas, muchas gracias. Disfruta y lo siento mucho que hemos terminado tarde. All right, namaste.